Amagana metuan maedi. Magana metuan mayeko. Ese de amagana su wo bre. Ne mayintia. De may bedie ba akofo nko atema hye de botom. Mrantie ne maba bre. Sadam no kasei 548 million. Titi wesi kare de eyo opepepem pepe. Ana Attorney General Yewra Dominic Ayene etumi akọ discover say Ghana National Service on NSS on scandal akoso no ebusua airtime na nipa bedu mienu enedi mu ntintimai yenya abotire ne ndabu into this one ne ehunu ne yankoba ne dwumadie kromudi ya enam so ma asasika kwami etumi hwiri oman Ghana David ba the talk ani unya subscribe ya make sure say subscription button so turn the notification bell no on mamen like video in share ma afoforo so ensa entumi enkemi. So as I was saying, according to the Ghana Attorney General Yewra Dominic Ayene enipa be du mienu etina komotama boma omabo oman Ghana ka right from 2021 22 23 24 548 million
charges against 12 suspects who work as directors and staff of the NSA. I've already listed them, but for the abundance of doubt, let me mention them again. These are Mustafa Yusuf, a former executive director, Osea Sibeninchi, former director general, Gifty Owari Mensah, former deputy executive director, Kweku Ohinijan, former deputy executive director for operations, Abraham Bismarck, former internal auditor, Kweku Deji Eje, an accounts officer, Idrisu Ibn Abubakar, former head of accounts, Stephen Kobina JP, who is we have asked that he should be arrested because we discovered some new accounts that contain some deposits, and so he was picked up this morning. So he is currently also he's undergoing further interrogation. Koforidua, he's the Koforidua director. Then Prince Agofa Ewuku, a district director, and Jacob Yosin, management information systems administrator in the northern region. We will also file charges against the following persons who are vendors on the marketplace on the central management system of the NSA in the eastern, Greater Accra, and Ashanti regions. Isaac Osei Asamani, the owner of Stalwart Option Buying Ventures. Charles Ohomini, the owner of GH Ohek Ventures. Philomena Aka, the owner of Brainwave Ventures. Rose Hamilton, the owner of Marine Ventures. Kweguo Pare Agofa, the owner of Franlisa Ventures. Solomon Jamina, the owner of Afarita Ventures. Haruna Maulaya, the owner of Alfaida Enterprise. Sylvia Ntriwa Opare, the owner of Sensona Ventures. And then Peter Mensah, a legal practitioner and the husband of Gifty Owari Mensah.
Now, Sir Edomino, ye adaji ebe komu ina ho asem. Na on this episode no, the person ye dive into nipa be myenubi. Aye. Me kire the Director General and as a former Director General, Yewra Oseyesibe. Aye. One the Deputy Director General, Mami Gifty. Wamu myenu pa e na asem bi gina omo so a the person etimi dive into it. Na Yewra Oseyesibe entry part bay and will play in this colossal amount of Ghana 548 million. Now, as the Director General on that the whole National Service Scheme, I don't know. That is on approving CNC sign criteria into me go. So also na Deputy Director General also into me go.
Without their explicit authority, nothing was possible. In other words, all these transfers could not have taken place without the authorization of the Chief Executive Officer and or the Director General, depending on the nomenclature that was used to describe their roles.
Now just say, sir, a titri way, and a come with Tambum say, oh my Ghana, I'm a Ghana, so papa through connivance with nipa bi a wɔnom ɛyɛ adwuma a wɔn ɛyɛ high purchasing and ɛnneɛ wɔn sɔre a they are benefiting from it nti no na wɔn tua sika ma no ɛne sɛ wɔn yɛ set up sɛ ɛnneɛ NSS foɔ wopɛ biribi te sɛ phone atɔ anaa wopɛ fridge wopɛ nneɛma home appliance wɔn ɛbɛtɔn saa nneɛma no bi ama na wò sika ne ba a ɛyɛ alawa no a first ba no yɛ 550 sɛ yɛkɔ 700 no na wɔn ate efiri saa alawa no nti yɛn fa sɛ wokɔtɔ adeɛ a ne boɔ ɛyɛ 100 cedis a ɛnneɛ 100 cedis no wontua na emom walawa ne ba ne ate efi alawa ne mu na ɛnneɛ 66 na ɛbɛka ne de osisi abrɛ wo ɛno ɛna papa yi ɛne ebinom ayɛ kanana ebu Ghanafoɔ ɛde ghost names akɔhyehyɛ mu etwa Ghanafoɔ abɛ according to yɛ papa Dominic Ayine age ɔmo yɛ ɔmo conduct yi na wie no ɔmo sɛ nipa yɛ ghost names a ɛhyɛ saa wezi no ɛhyɛ NSS no ɛne ɛkyɛn owio hu ni buburigya a ne nyina ne sɛ papa yi esibɛntwi wodi mu ntintiman paa ɛno ɛna nam soɔ ama ɔmo akɔyɛ nhwehwɛmu na investigation mehu sɛ nkurɔfoɔ bi tuatua sika ma no a ɔmo taa de fa e-switch so ɛno koraa no bɛɛ 8 billion Ghana cedis e-switch baako pɛ a ɛyɛ registered ɛwɔ ɔno ani bi evidence no ɔmanya.
In the 2022-2023 service year, a total of 8,256,000 Ghana cedis was deposited into an e-switch account number 1177042059, which is registered in the name of suspect Jose Asibe. Investigations show that he personally received these funds. During a search at his residence, the aforementioned e-switch card was found, and we intend to tender it in evidence.
So, Owura Asibe ni fie o, according to Auditor General, 8 billion. Say 8 million. Ɛno mutumi kɔ fa no yɛ ɛwɔ the e-switch so. As you say no, it is part of evidence a ɔmo bɛ tender in ɛwɔ court. Now, the motivational speaker. Never be gifted mensa, the motivational speaker. Put him no, she's the legendary team.
Before you sleep every day, after the TEDx, ask yourself, all these dreams that we are going to have, why will I choose this and speak to myself to say, I dream not? Why will I move to say, this is what I want to achieve? Be the legend you want to be. And I live in the Ubuntu spirit of saying humanity, I am because we are. I am because you live with me.
Now, this legendary woman, yes, indeed, she's a legend by all standards. She has set a legendary path. Ghana Hanomi Hunubida. Now, as young as she is, Adwina Deni Trimono, Adwin Bolo. As the Deputy Director General, Emma NSS, no, I say, Yama between your maintenance, I was a Muslim baby. Let me just fast forward. Arunti, almost syndicate here, Omuya, say high purchasing a year ton near me, and the NSS for Mometo no. Mami Nkwano, ghost names, no, I will nipa there 9,000. More than that, I want to catch ya. Say ghost names in na young for more. Etimi fidi edu obudi ahihye muo se Ghana ban entu omuka so mo NSS adwuma abra omonye na sankofuo ya no omo asa ayo omo agent se omo enenton neman high purchase uradi nyame aje se mami wo adwen pa no wonder say we motivational speaker no wonder say we legend. Now as part of that no wasa sheda edani nani ena nukunu Owura Peter Mensah I was a lawyer. Any Abrantia Maxwell. Akwasi minta. Say, any where the men ni many the channel, whom ye company. Company needs as a block of life.
Register a company called Blocks of Life Consult without their knowledge or permission. Subsequently, she presented Blocks of Life Consult through a middleman in the person of Maxwell Akwesi Ofori-Minta to an official of the Agricultural Development Bank, enlisting her husband, Mr. Peter Mensah, a lawyer, to act as one of the directors or representative of the said company. She told ADB that the company specialized in supplying home appliances to national service personnel and proposed that ADB finance the company to enable it to supply these items on hire purchase basis to the service personnel, with the NSA being responsible for handling the deductions and repayments. During the period,
blocks of life. There's a boba. Esi amanfo kwa ampa Ghana mranche ni maba obosi obokwa no block wo no enya asankotua sa company any company miensa aka ho a eno no oche international mu na eka ho no ena bae bie na blocks of life no kura de ye kunu ene abrante minta Akwasi Maxwell akọ ADB se ya pebesia besia ni yape na besia ya yape no momoye some de mo Agricultural Development Bank enye development na mo pe you say the development go be mu na ADB manager say na mo de na mo yo parce blocks of life ya supply o ya high purchase ya di niam ma free na mo ni pass also oh you ni pa be 9,000 and over you know what say dey no be say and mo pese sinka otimi ma ebe Ghana sika fufure 30 million a kebe boaye oh 30 million 1 2 manager say ma approve it 30 million no me sama mo chiri po be nsia mo fa ko yadba mo fa nko na chese at the ignorance of the ordinary Ghanaian wonu akọ ni university awie wonu no akọ ni tertiary awie ni ese wo mra meye adwuma no ma bi we di omu details akọ je besia kasi wo ye intelligent wo ye legend no wodi wo mu NSS for details no mu data akọ je loan 30 million Ghana cedis wodi no kuru owura Peter Mensah wo ye lawyer oni se sa de nke ye bone yo hwenya mi anim no wo ye obuji se sika no ene ye mfa bi nkoma Ohie International na sa Ohie yi eye company ba ko a ni kunu adamfo abrantie Minta Maxwell wona na da no wo deny a ye nti ase evidence ni wo ye nti ase enti sa kofo yi eye niama ama ene ka Ghana abono ese durumbram na tese 1 sikal a eye ghost names ekomo akache 2 bosia wode amanfo details akwaje ekona akache mfaso a free side deals a wo say ye ni nyina mu ekona akache one person she's a threat to the society when you sikasi ya tam enti party ahoro nko an wo ye so anya wanwa se afedie attorney general say na ni abre ne so pa na omo pale all the necessary documents and he say the akwa copy mo court ni ehwe ni mo attorney general binim sese kasare ya doso ni hu action I was say we ya hono NSS scandal yi aba be ye pinson yes ghost names yes say enti ensem trafo ewo nhyemudi yasi omu be sase na attorney general abemo nipa bionu be na o hint say obudi asemi mu akotire no ho amwa eji say Mustafa no kura de emfa na asem tunche wade Kwame A+, the famous Kwame A+. Omo mo ba asem na ono kura no omo dan no ye hwem say parliament be makwan na omotimi no matwetwe nkomo na obo be provide evidence untimi ntina be nke kansem za be evidence bra.
The question in relation to the member of parliament who was in the center of the investigation. There are 2 members of parliament who were investigated in this scandal. One was a former chief executive officer, that is the Honorable Yusuf Mustafa Yusuf. And so in his case, we basically had the evidence, relating to taking as the executive officer, and then we interrogated him. In the case of the famous A+, the investigation is still ongoing, and there are talks with him with respect to the role that he will play, either in respect of providing evidence against those who try to do what is alleged to have been done, or if at the end of the day no agreement is reached, then maybe he will have to stand trial. That is where we are with respect. So the investigations are ongoing. We haven't.
Enti kwame plus with the pass and we go ma the go man. Which was what the hard was say. Bina AJ ka ho asem no ankasa. O de hwe movie kitu every movie.
You. Now I find you in exactly the position that suits me. I had lots of time to learn how to shoot with my left.
When you have to shoot, shoot, don't talk.
Have you seen the movie? 500 plus and a big position movie. A coded movie. A coded. If you know, you know. Age is what Bama so. And yet, meant now, my name, Mamma so. Ubecas will be a medical. It is a 500 plus, then I'll be age. Any or no, any. So, Attorney General Mieti assessor, any pet medium you know, ama 548 million Ghana cedis, new currency, at Mashro May, and yet the charges are Cassia Pair Shwama pumping, and yet stealing, conspiracy to steal, willfully causing financial loss to the state, and yet charges in the Ebru or Yohuni, say Buruja, Uditi AG.
And shall be charged accordingly with the following crimes: stealing, contrary to section 1241 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960 at 29. Conspiracy to steal, contrary to sections 23.1 and 124.1 of the Criminal and Other Offences Act, willfully causing financial loss to the state, contrary to section 179A3A of the Criminal and Other Offences Act, using public office for profit, contrary to section 179CA of the Criminal and Other Offences Act, obtaining public property by false statements, contrary to section 5 of the Public Property Protection Decree 1977 SMCD 140, money laundering, contrary to section 1 subsection 2C of the Anti-Money Laundering Act 2020 at 1044, and conspiracy to commit money laundering, contrary to section 3 of the Anti-Money Laundering.
Entidia na akafa ho oman ebe ya na enye Attorney General who evidence we na wo twan di yi me de me ba se mba ba besom. It is up to you, the discerning audience. Say ube use comment section wo watch rewa dey. Everybody talking here. Unyan subscribe here. Let's just say for subscription button message and the notification bell on. Like in a share video. Nema afofro so nsanka bi. Bi ebe free ma ba bia. E de ba besom. On this note,